Hello and welcome to Flippin Through the Internet's #1 Mad Magazine news, review, and interview channel. Um, and welcome to Flippin Through Mad Magazine number 420, bro. Uh, August 2002 price, $3.50, which is indeed cheap. Before I go any further, please hit like, subscribe. Also, I don't know what happened, guys. Uh, it- this shit got out of control. I leapt up to 181 subscribers. I am 19 away from my December goal, and it's just the start of October. So things are looking up, and keep sharing it, hit like, subscribe, do all of that good stuff because it apparently really does help out. So with that, let's get into this. I picked issue 420 because I thought it'd be funny, and I knew I had it. So this is at first when I pulled it out of the box, like I didn't know what issue this was. Um, I was like, this cover sucks. And the more I looked at it, the more I really, really love it. There's just so many amazing things in here. Obviously, it's the 50 worst things about music. So I don't know, maybe a whole music themed issue. I don't nothing. This is not exactly a memorable cover for me, although I obviously own it, and it's from 2002. So this is when I had, as a kid, an active subscription. So I don't recall this one, but um, it's pretty interesting because there's a lot of really dated things. I think some things that maybe didn't hold up all that well. Other things on this cover that held up surprisingly well. Um, so this is obviously a spoof, a parody of um, what is that Beatles album, Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, um, which famously has like the four Beatles right in front, and then all of this like whole cast of characters. And I think it's that I don't know a ton about like music, certainly not a ton about album art of the Beatles, but I think there are like little in jokes all throughout it. But um, speaking of in jokes, 420. That's the weed number, and they certainly the designer of this really managed to get a lot of references to marijuana all throughout this, and it fits on account of it being music, and music famously, uh, you know, people imbibe. So I don't know. You have the Osbournes, who were at this time huge. They were massive. They had that very entertaining show on MTV called, I think, was it called The Osbournes or something? Anyway, it was just served like this kind of delightful show. There was a uh, Sharon Osbourne. All she talked about was how great Pat Boone was to have as a neighbor, and like they were just shockingly normal, and you got to see Ozzy shuffle about, and his daughter spun off to have a very successful career as like some fashion commentator, and there's his son. But I don't know. So you like just jumps out. You have like this Britney Spears, Alanis Morissette, Paul McCartney. You got In Sync back here. Backstreet Boys did not make the cut. Celine Dion, Ludacris. Um, but they do something. Whoever did this cover does this sort of sometimes subtle, sometimes not so subtle kind of morphing of the faces. So here's one where it's slightly more subtle, but like with the girls from Destiny's Child, he they like space out their eyes so they kind of look like uh, I don't know, they just don't look right. And then there's like things like this where it's the eyes are really widened and it looks pretty ridiculous. Uh, they make P Diddy has like cross eyes. It's like I think it's a mix of taking unflattering photos, and then also manipulating them. Look at this, poor Chris Kirkpatrick. They blew him up. This guy Lance Bass, his face is all he has. Oh my goodness, this is like Alfred E. Newman's unevenness of the eyes. Um, and then you sort of have like, I don't know, this guy looks like Kevin Feige. You have Jar Jar Binks back there, the Queen of England. Um, here's Jerry Garcia and William Gaines. And then here's old Bubba, right? Blowing on that sax. Famously, Bill Clinton played the saxophone. I think it was at like a Democratic National Convention or something, but it was fairly absurd. Um, and we do have the young man himself, Alfred E. Newman, tucked in back there. This is, I don't know, like clipped. It looks like a Norman Mingo illustration that they clipped out or something. But um, yeah, I just love it. This is a really fun cover, and my initial reaction to it, incorrect. So let's flip in there. Oh, here, look at these guys. It's Red Man and Method Man. Those guys they were the man back then. There was this great show. What was the movie? I think it was How High, where they go to Harvard. That's right. It's the most awful premise. So their friend dies, and they take his ashes. They take his ashes, and they put it into a pot plant, and then when they smoke the marijuana that they harvest from this plant, his spirit, like they hallucinate his spirit. But anyway, so they go to Harvard, and it's delightful. This is after the switch to color, so we get to enjoy Monroe in color. What else do we got? I don't know. Look at, what is this? Playmobil Osborns, I'm assuming that's what that is. Here's The Rock, an early caricature of The Rock. That'll be lots of fun. Smallville, here we go. Oh, here we go. Listen. Well, gosh. I never miss the opportunity to say a bad word about Dave Berg's art, but this is sad. As this issue went to press, we were saddened to hear of the passing, after a lengthy illness, of our own Dave Berg. We send our deepest condolences to his family. The artist and writer of The Lighter Side of Dave joined MAD in 1957 and has appeared in over 365 issues. There are two new Lighter Side of articles Dave completed before his death that we will publish in upcoming issues. Rest in peace, Dave Berg. Anyway, I think my next first appearance is going to be Dave Berg. I think I got to write that down. I think that would be uh I think that would be the right thing to do. Oh, here's something that was lots of fun. I was going to not pass on, poor choice of words. I was going to move on, but then I saw this, the Make a Dumb Wish Foundation. Um, and so this is, they address, there's three women who write in. My name is Kelly Thornsberry. I'm writing this letter to see if the Make a Dumb Wish Foundation can make my dumb wish come true. My friends, Claire Sheldon and Katie Fry, and I each are writing you a letter. We have made a bet to see whose letter gets published, if any. There's a certain amount of money involved, and if you print my letter and not my friends, you would make my dumb wish come true. Claire is a huge liar. I will say, Katie and I never read Matt, but all she wants is the money. All Katie ever does is read my old issues and never ever buys them herself. Um, Also, my dumb wish includes getting a free issue next month. Hold on, we got to see what we have to. I'm jumping right to Claire because Claire is the huge liar. This is like that. What is that? I apologize. My eyes are watering a lot right now. This is like that riddle where two people are lying, or no, like one person's a liar, one person has to tell the truth, but the guy who's telling the truth says that he's a liar. Anyway, my name is Claire Sheldon. I'm writing to you to make a dumb wish. My friends Kelly Thornsberry and Katie Fry have also writing you a dumb wish. We have a bet to see whose letter will be published. The winner gets an undisclosed amount of money. If you do this for me, you will make my dumb wish come true, and maybe this will be the highlight of my teenage years. You could be a part of that, and all you have to do is give me a few measly inches in your letters page. You should publish mine because I am the only real fan of MAD. They hardly ever buy it. So if you publish their letters and not mine, it would be a shame to all MAD fans everywhere. Kelly will say I lie and that I don't read MAD, but I do read it. They don't. Could you send me next month's issue? Thanks so much. I love that. I love the pettiness. I'm not even going to read the solution. I'm not going to find out. All right? Buy your own issue. You're a real Claire. You guys aren't even buying these issues. I am. Stop being a Claire. Oh, here's the master of everybody who appears in this. I'm not going to go over that. The 50 worst things about music. From the horrifying 5-octave, eardrum-splitting screech of Mariah Carey to the horrifying, mind-numbing, morosely monotone drone of Enya, to the horrifying, intensely unpleasant pounding and pontificating of Creed, today's music scene offers a wide variety of sounds and stars to disturb, alienate, and incense everyone. But who and what are the industry's absolute biggest offenders? We're sure you have your own list, and we're not so humbly inviting you to compare it with our own 50 worst things about music. Number 1, record companies that charge $18 for a CD that costs them 75 cents. That seems insincere at best. Come on. Who wrote this, by the way? Oh, writer Desmond Devlin. Artist, the great Drew Friedman. I'm still, I'm playing phone tag or whatever, like a DM tag, trying to get Desmond Devlin and Tom Richmond on the show to promote. We'll see how that goes. And I will say, the Slow Poisoner, the founder of Freaky Magazine, will be making an appearance on this show on my next live stream, or on a live stream at the end of the month. I might try to fit in a live stream before then. William Shatner's strained efforts, a mere 30 years too late to convince the world that he was always in on the joke. I love William Shatner. I used to think William Shatner was a joke, and then I started watching Star Trek for the very first time, and that is a great show. Nobody should badmouth Star Trek. It is amazing. Number 16, 20-year-old Alicia Keys telling the world about her lifelong struggle to realize her artistic vision. Alicia's keeping it real, all right. Real whiny. But as a kid, it's like that she seemed so old, right? 2002. I was 16 years old. So somebody 4 years older than me seemed worldly. And I was like, oh man, this is profound, right? Because she's like in New York City playing a piano, right? I don't know. Pointless Washington, D.C. hearings on music that just so happen to occur every election year. That way, senators can dupe their voters into thinking that they're doing something about rap. Although, it's always classic comedy to watch dumb old white guys trying to discuss the constitutionality of chiseling one's nizzle. The honorable gentleman from Massachusetts is obviously unaccustomed to dealing with a megadose of reality from the L to the O to the double T. The honorable gentleman from Mississippi needs to get all up out of my grill. Woot! Oh, that's stupid. I am glad that like music is now like that they've passed on that, right? Nobody is talking about that anymore. Now they just need to stop complaining about video games. Um, I mean, like now you think of this and it's like these are actually very quaint times. Oh, today, as in the 1960s, Bob Dylan remains the voice of his generation, creaky, abrasive, and increasingly hard to understand. Like when this came out, he was like, I mean, what? He was like 50 years old or something. And it's like being treated like he's all super old. The Hard Rock Cafe, it's tough enough enjoying their stinko $11 hockey puck hamburgers without having to force them down while staring right at Meatloaf's sweat-stained stage slacks. 49. Oh, look at, they give you a nice advertisement for the X Games. I'll tell you what, a lot of these caricatures are, it's really amazing to see them in color. Like, I feel like flipping through this right now, it's kind of reminding me of what that change was like. Like, I wish ads were not a part of it. The ads were something that I really disliked having. Um, but in and of themselves, there is like some kind of there is some appeal to it because it does capture the time. And so there is, I guess that's like a silver lining. Um, Number 44, those mobs of yammering teenagers who spend an entire day blocking the streets so they can keep their spot for staring up at the TRL window. It makes New Yorkers nostalgic for a time when the only high-pitched screaming heard in Times Square came from tourists being mugged. Yeah, Times Square used to be uh, an armpit. It used to be the worst. Oh, so I totally missed this. Like, I don't know, the microphone was covering it. Number 50, the oboe. We just don't like it. There is something, I mean, it's like this sort of like squealing noise that um I don't like it either. Oh my gosh. Look at this ad. This is the perfect early 2000s ad. Look at these guys. Look at their kind of like braids and dreadlocks and this guy's big old glasses. And look at all their like perfectly manicured facial hair. Just perfect. And their spiky logo. And look at this. Ozfest. Oh my gosh. That's perfect. Here we have the last banjo and wait, bango? The last bango in Paris. It's a bit. Oh, they're banging. Okay, I get it. Claire, here we are in Paris, the most romantic city in the world. I think tonight will be the night we consummate our love. Yes, my darling. Oh, yes. Just promise that you'll wear protection. Oh, yes, yes. Wham. If I wind up pregnant, Buster, I'll kill you. But Claire, be reasonable. It was dark. How was I supposed to know the condom was made by Firestone? Like, what? That's ridiculous. Oh, darn it. Uh, oh, this is a time before smartphones where you would download. Wait, is this a? This is bizarre. Anyway, there are these like very strange ads, like from Winamp, where you could download stuff, but I never did. They always seemed. I never trust anything with this much fine print. I'm bummed. For some reason, I thought that there was some color issues of um, Monroe. Every time I get in here, I wish and wish more and more that they had um, a collection of all of this Monroe stuff. I wonder who owns this. I gotta ask. I gotta ask people that. Who owns this? Bill Ray own this? Does Bill and Anthony own this? Maybe, maybe not. Anyway, so to catch you guys up, Monroe's parents actually got back together and they made another baby. Okay. Um, I don't know. They go to Disney World. It's part two Like, how am I supposed to know what's going on? Like, through my memory? Look at this. Is perfect. This is like a perfect encapsulation of his, like, just a-hole dad. Look at me. I'm Lee Harvey Oswald. Monroe, get in there and be the second gunman. I wish someone would just shoot me now. It's like that feeling as a kid where you're just perpetually embarrassed by your parents, but Monroe's parents are actually doing things worthy of embarrassment, right? That's the tragedy of the story of Monroe. That is it. Ooh, Magic the Gathering. He did such a good job of, Bill Ray did, of capturing like that sort of like the Disney look and making it his own, but still having them being completely recognizable. He's using that stuff like, I use all of these terms interchangeably, even though I'm aware that they are not the same. But like, so like, there's like duotone, duoshade, and zipatone, and look at he's using them all, and it's just like it's perfect. I just love that. I love that shading technique. But then like over, well, yeah, he does it over here. Look at there's some screen tone in this trench coat. It's such a cool look for finishing, for like inking things. I mean, I wish it was still used. I mean, I think that you can do that in like those digital things. You know, like what is it? Like Photoshop or whatever like artists use nowadays, Procreate, stuff like that, where you can give filters that do that. I will say that I don't think it's the same, but then again, I think there's lots of instances of digital art being presented to me where I would not be able to tell the difference. So, um, artist and writer Peter Cooper. I just like I'm so impressed with these. I think I would really really like to have some of this original artwork where it's spray painted or airbrushed or whatever it was he was using. I just think it's so cool. So cool. The everlasting ridiculous impacts of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Desmond Devlin. Again, look at, I mean, he's getting it in, you know? Ooh, Enterprise. Endless Prize. Again, Desmond Devlin and Mort Drucker. Like, Mort Drucker at this point was an old man, right? Like, it's not like, you know, who were they making fun of before for being old? Like Bob Dylan. Like, he was an old man when he was doing these. And it's just like, they're just awesome. It's still awesome. Here we go. A mad look at cruises. This is what I can get behind. I don't want to get, listen, I don't want to get this video taken down, but like when I was a kid, Sergio Aragones, come on, right? Like to me, this was Sergio Aragones drawing women was, when I was a kid, probably the most titillating thing of my entire life. It was just, it was pretty crazy. Shoddy Osborne's merchandise we'll be seeing soon. Shrieking, Sharon Osbourne car alarm, the Prince of Darkness Bubbles mix. I don't really remember them doing a whole bunch of licensing stuff. Maybe, I mean, I'm probably mistaken. But the Iron Mansion, Osborne's family mansion set. Look at that lovely Playmobil set. Their house was really cool. I wonder how that holds up. The Jason Dill in action figure. I don't know. Like, I remember Jay and Silent Bob. That's what they had. They had in action figures based on Jack Osborne's highly unloved slacker pal. This plastic figure comes with a help wanted section he'll never use, dishes he'll never clean, and a ratty, tangled white afro he'll never comb. Comb not included, obviously. Doll construction by John Cezaklis. Oh my goodness. Mad Scans, The Human Body. Artist George Woodbridge, 2002. Still doing it. This is like, I don't know. I mean, I think I've talked about having this, like the time you grew up in MAD, that's the best time for MAD for the most part. But I mean, like there's something to be said about the early 2000s with, people like Bill Ray putting out some just beautiful, highly skilled artwork. If you don't like the humor of Monroe, I get it, personal taste. That's a thing. But it's beautiful artwork. Like he's a very skilled artist. And then you have the old school dudes like George Woodbridge and Mort Drucker and Duck Edwing still putting things out. So I don't know. I think I've mentioned it before. I really wish that there was more, like they had done more to like bring in young blood. I feel sometimes, I don't know, this might be, again, just like a total misconception, but that they sort of rested on their laurels and they got too comfortable with some of the same old dudes, that while they are skilled and while they are obviously deserving of space, they didn't push enough people up higher and higher. I don't know. They obviously brought in a lot of young blood because they were filling the magazines, but were they really nurturing them enough? Arnie Kogan, artist Herman Mejia. An amazing, just like, oh, look at this. It's just perfect. Oh, look at that screwed up face. The scorpion, ka-ching. Look at it, it's Maui. Who would have thought that the Rock would become so huge? Shake. Dad says it's natural to shake the goo first thing in the morning. Who the fuck is responsible for this ad? Oh my gosh. Oh, that's awful. And I forgot about that. I always forget about that. You don't get the back cover gag once they switch to having commercials or advertisements. What a bummer. What a bummer way to end. Anyway, this was MAD 420, bro. Flipping through MAD 420. Thank you so much for watching. If you would like to see, if you have an issue that you want to see reviewed, let me know in the comments. If you liked this video, let me know. If you hated it, let me know. I want to grow this channel. I want to make it better, and I can only do that with your help. So, yeah, once again, thanks so much for watching, and toodaloo.